Welcome student. Today we will start stream control transmission protocol. Stream control transmission protocol is a new reliable message oriented transport layer protocol. SCTP however is mostly designed for internet applications that have recently been introduced. We briefly compare UDP, TCP and SCTP. UDP is a message oriented protocol. A process delivers a message to UDP which is encapsulated in a user datagram and sent over the network. UDP conserves the message boundaries. Each message is independent of any other message. This is a desirable feature when we are dealing with applications such as IP telephony and transmission of real-time data. However, UDP is unreliable. The sender cannot know the destiny of the message sent. The message can be lost, duplicated, or received out of order. UDP also lacks some other features such as congestion control and flow control needed for a friendly transport layer protocol. TCP is a byte-oriented protocol. It receives a message or messages from a process, stores them as a stream of bytes, and sends them in segment. There is no preservation of the message boundaries. However, TCP is a reliable connection. The duplicate segments are detected, the lost segments are listened, and the bytes are delivered to the end process in order. TCP also has congestion control and flow control mechanism. SCTP combines the best features of UDP and TCP. SCTP is a reliable message-oriented protocol. It preserves the message boundaries and at the same time detect lost data, duplicate data, and out-of-order data. It also has congestion control and flow control mechanism. You will see the SCTP has other innovative features unavailable in UDP and TCP. SCTP services, process-to-process communication. SCTP uses all well-known ports in the TCP space, multiple streams. SCTP allows multiple stream service in each connection, which is called association in SCTP terminology. If one of the stream is blocked, the other stream can still deliver the data. So some SCTP applications. These are the protocol is IUA, port number is 9990, description is ISDN over IP. So it has applications in IP telephony, media gateway, SS7 telephony signaling, and so on, using different port numbers such as 9990, 2904, 2905, 2945, 5060, and so on. Multiple stream concept. So the SCTP sends multiple streams of data over the network. It sends over the network. So this is the sending process. It will send stream of data chunks along the data physical line. Along the physical line, it sends a stream of data chunks. More than one connection will be established. More than one connection will be established and it will be sent through different IP addresses. Multi-homing. An SCTP association, on the other hand, supports multi-homing service. The sending and receiving host can define multiple IP addresses in each end of an association. In this fault-tolerant approach, when one path fails, another interface can be used for data delivery without interruption. So it uses in multi-homing concept, it uses different IP addresses to send the data over the internet. So this is using IP1, IP2 to send it to the server, which is using IP3 and IP4 addresses. So this concept we call it as multi-homing concept. Full duplex communication, like TCP, SCTP offers a full duplex service in which data can flow in both the directions at the same time. Each SCTP then has a sending and receiving buffer, and packets are sent in both directions. Connection-oriented services, like TCP, SCTP is a connection-oriented protocol. However, in SCTP, a connection is called an association. When a processor at site A wants to send and receive data from another processor at site B, the following occurs. The two SCTP establish an association between each other. Data are exchanged in both directions. The association is terminated. Reliable service. SCTP, like TCP, is a reliable transport protocol. It uses an acknowledgement mechanism to check the safe and sound arrival of data. Features of SCTP, transmission sequence number. The unit of data in SCTP is a data chunk, which may or may not have a one-to-one relationship with the message coming from the process because of fragmentation. Data transfer in SCTP is controlled by numbering the data chunks. SCTP uses a transmission sequence number to number the data chunks. In other words, the transmission sequence number in SCTP plays an analogous role to the sequence number in TCP. Transmission sequence number are 32-bit long and randomly initialized between 0 and 2 to the power 32 minus 1. Each data chunk must carry the corresponding transmission sequence number in its header. Stream identifier. In TCP, there is only one stream in each connection. In SCTP, there may be several streams in each association. Each stream in SCTP need to be identified by using a stream identifier. Stream sequence number. When a data chunks arrive at the destination SCTP, it is delivered to the appropriate stream and in the proper order. This means that in addition to a stream identifier, SCTP defines each data chunk in stream with a stream sequence number. Packets. In TCP, a segment carries data and control information. Data are carried as a collection of bytes. Control information is defined by 6 control flags in the header. The design of SCTP is totally different. Data are carried as data chunks. Control information is carried as control chunks. Several control chunks and data chunks can be packed together in a packet. Packet in SCTP plays the same role as a segment in TCP. So this is a comparison between TCP segment and SCTP segment. So we have a segment in TCP. This is a segment in TCP. And this is the packet in SCTP. So it has data bytes options. And checksum, urgent pointer, window size, header length, control flag, acknowledgement number, sequence number, source port address, and destination port address. Whereas SCTP has data chunks, control chunks, checksum, verification tag, source port address, destination port address. So the packet in SCTP is divided into 3 parts: data, control, and header. Whereas in a segment in TCP is divided into data, header, and options. Packets and data chunks. So, for example, there are 4 packets that need to be sent. These are the 4 packets. It has a transmission number and 11 streams of data need to be sent. 11 streams of data. So the data can be combined into different packets. So the first packet has transmission sequence number 101. It has stream identifier as 0 and stream sequence number as 0. So it has 4 stream sequence numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, followed by another transmission sequence number 105, which has a stream sequence number 0, 1, 2. It has up to transmission sequence number 107. Then the stream identifier 2 is there. So we are sending stream identifier 0, stream identifier 1, stream identifier 2, and stream identifier 2. We are sending total 3 stream identifiers, streams, using 4 packets. Note that each data chunk needs 3 identifiers: transmission sequence number, stream identifier, and stream sequence number. Transmission sequence number is a cumulative number and is used for flow control and error control. Stream identifier defines the stream to which the chunk belongs. Stream sequence number defines the chunks order in a particular stream. Acknowledgement number. TCP acknowledgement numbers are byte oriented and refer to the sequence number. SCTP acknowledgement numbers are chunk oriented. They refer to the transmission sequence number. Flow control. Like TCP, SCTP implement flow control to avoid overwhelming the receiver. Error control. Like TCP, SCTP implements error control to provide reliability. TSN numbers and acknowledgement numbers are used for error control. Congestion control. Like TCP, SCTP implements congestion control to determine how many data chunks can be injected into the network. This is the SCTP packet format. It has general header, chunk 1 up to chunk n. Chunk 1 and chunk n are of variable length. General header is of 12 bytes. This is the general header. It has a source port address, destination port address, verification tag, and checksum. The verification tag, it serves as an identifier for the association. It is repeated in every packet during the association. Stream transmission controller, chunks. Control information or user data are carried in chunks. Chunks. It has different types: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 14, and 192. So 0 type is data chunk. It is user data. Type 1 is initialization, it setups and association, and so on. So it has different types of chunks. Association establishment. Association establishment in stream control transmission protocol require four-way handshaking. In this procedure, a process, normally a client, wants to establish an association with another process, normally a server, using stream control transmission protocol as a transport layer protocol. Similar to TCP, the HTTP server need to be prepared to receive any association. Association establishment, however, is initiated by the client. So this is a four-way handshaking. So we have the client is sending the initialization data frame. It is being acknowledged by the server. So it will send cookie along with that. The client will send the cookie echo. Then the server will send the cookie acknowledgement. A connection in SCTP is called an association. No other chunk is allowed in the packet carrying an init or init acknowledgement chunk. A cookie echo or cookie acknowledgement chunk can carry data chunks. Data transfer. The whole process of an association is to transfer data between two ends. After the association is established, bidirectional data transfer can take place. The client and the server can both send data. Like TCP, SCTP supports piggybacking. So this is a simple data transfer. So it is sending the data with transmission sequence number 7105 and transmission sequence number 7107 710 and 7108. So this has been acknowledged by the server. So it will send the cumulative transmission sequence number 7108, the last one. After that, it is sending the data. Server is sending the data using transmission sequence number 121 and 122. And the client will acknowledge using cumulative transmission sequence number 122. It has stream acknowledge chunk to send from client to the server, which is nothing but the acknowledgement data. Multi-homing data transfer. We discussed the multi-homing capability of SCTP, a feature that distinguishes SCTP from UDP and TCP. Multi-homing allows both ends to define multiple IP addresses for communication. However, only one of these addresses can be defined as the primary address. The rest are alternative addresses. The primary address is defined during the association establishment. Multi-stream delivery. One interesting feature of SCTP is the distinction between data transfer and data delivery. SCTP uses transmission sequence number to handle data transfer, movement of data chunks between the source and destination. The delivery of the data chunks is controlled by stream identifier and stream sequence numbers. SCTP can support multiple streaming, which means that the sender process can define different streams and a message can belong to one of the streams. Each stream is assigned a stream identifier which uniquely defines that stream. Fragmentation. Another issue in data transfer is fragmentation. Although SCTP shares this term with IP, fragmentation in IP and in SCTP belong to different levels. The former at the network layer, the latter at the transport layer. Association termination. In HTTP like TCP, either of the two parties involved in exchanging the data can close the connection. However, unlike TCP, HTTP does not allow half-closed situation. If one end closes the situation, the other end must stop sending new data. If any data are left over in the queue of the recipient of the termination request, they are sent and the association is closed. So this is the termination in HTTP. So the client sends the shutdown and the server will acknowledge the shutdown and shutdown complete will take place. This is how the disassociation of connection takes place in HTTP. Flow control. Flow control in HTTP is similar to that in TCP. In TCP, we need to deal with only one unit of data in the pipe. In HTTP, we need to handle 2 units of data, the pipe and the chunks. The values of receive window and congestion window are expressed in pipe. The values of transmission sequence number and acknowledgement are expressed in chunks. Receiver side. The receiver has one buffer and 3 variables. The queue holds the received data chunks that have not yet been read by the process. The first variable holds the last transmission signal number received, cumulative TSM. The second variable holds the available buffer size, window size. And the third variable holds the last accumulated acknowledgement, last acknowledgement. So these are the flow control at the receiver side. It has the window size and this is the last data chunk which need to be transmitted. So cumulative transmission sequence number is 26, window size is 1000 and last acknowledgement is that is been received is 20. This will go to the stream will go to the process. The streams will go to the process. Sender set. The sender has one buffer and 3 variables. Current transmission sequence number, received window, and in transit as shown in figure. So it has current transmission sequence number, received window, and in transit. So current transition sequence number is 37, which need to be transmitted. These are the outstanding chunks that are need to be acknowledged. This is the sending queue from process. This will go to the destination. It has a receiving window of 2000 and in transit there are 700 bytes of data. Error control. HTTP like TCP is a reliable transport layer protocol. It uses S acknowledge chunk to report the state of the receiver buffer to the sender. Each implementation uses a different set of entities and times for the receiver and sender sides. Receiver side. The receiver stores all the chunks that arrive in its queue, including the out of order ones. However, it leaves spaces for any missing chunks. It discards duplicate messages but keeps track of them for report to the sender. So as you can see, this is the received chunks. So 21, 22, 23 are the cumulative transmit. 23 is the cumulative transmission sequence number. Window size is 1000. This is the last acknowledgement. It has unreceived chunks in between, then followed by received out of order chunks. 26, 27, 28 are out of order, and 31, 32, 33, 34 are out of order chunks. And 22 and 31 are duplicate chunks which are discarded. In between out of order chunks, we have the empty chunks. Sender side. At the sender side, there are 2 buffers, a sending queue and a retransmission queue. We also use the 3 variables: receive window, in transit, and current transition sequence number. So error control, sender side. This is at the sender side. It has current transition sequence number, receive window size, in transit. So the current transition sequence number is 37. The outstanding chunks are from 23 to 36, which are sent but acknowledgement is not received. The current sequence number to be sent is 37. It has retransmission queue 21 and 22. These are when timer expires of 3 sequence acknowledgement stream acknowledgements are received. These are recent again, 21 and 22 are recent again, because they are not been acknowledgement, they are lost. Since they are lost, these are retransmitted using a retransmission queue. And we have the sending queue. Right now we are sending stream chunk number 37, which is nothing but the current transition sequence number. Retransmission to control a lost or discarded chunk, stream control transmission protocol like TCP employ two strategies: using transmission timer and receiving 4S acknowledgement with the same missing chunks, generating S acknowledgement chunks. Another issue in error control is the generation of S acknowledgement chunks. The rule for generating SCTP S acknowledgement chunks are similar to the rules used for acknowledgement with the TCP acknowledgement flag. Congestion control. SCTP like TCP is a transport layer protocol with packets subject to congestion in the network. SCTP has slow start, congestion avoidance, and congestion detection phases. Like TCP, SCTP also uses fast retransmission and fast recovery. With this, I conclude today. Thank you very much.